Sports Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max, Live 365, iHeartRadio. Asia Karin joins me here on the show here tonight. Asia, how's everything going? Congratulations on all your music releases. True Love available on all platforms. It's going crazy. All the DJs are spinning them. The homage to the great Mary J. Blige, flipping it in your own way. How are you feeling? How you feeling about the record? Everything going for you so far in 2023? Let's get into it. How's everything?
Man, everything is great, man. I appreciate all the love, all the support that I'm getting from this record. I'm just grateful.
Yeah, when you got to do another remix here in the future, how would it feel to actually get Mary J to do the record with you?
And that's my goal. That's
Yeah.
my, it's funny because I originally had already did this song, and then I just came back out and did it again with another producer.
You did it again. That's right. Because when I did my research on you, I heard you talking in old clips because you had it played then. So yeah, that's sneaky.
Yeah. So we redid it, and it wasn't even planned like that. The producer that I linked up with this time, he just was like, he had a beat and he played it, and I'm like, wow, I already did this song, but let's do it again. So yeah.
See, you teach a lot to artists out here now, because I always feel like there's so many records, because we live in the space now where everyone has the attention span of like 2 seconds. Always try to re-release a record you feel as though that's gonna pop for you if it didn't in the past. If you feel as though it's gonna pop, try re-releasing it, try remaking it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a really great idea, and especially when it's not planned and it works. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But talk to me about your life story of growing up in Baltimore, and because I know your influences are pretty much yourself. Chris Brown's a huge influence, and your brother, I heard about, my condolences, and because he was someone that told you to express yourself in your music. But talk to me about coming up in Baltimore, trying to break out, and then the music scene from there.
Man, it was a process. Of course. I honestly used everything that I had going on around me, like all the negatives and everything, and I just allowed that to push me to become greater. That's what my movement is called, Guided by Flaws. That's what that's all about. Being guided by flaws, using every negative that you have around you to push you to be something greater. So that's where that came from. But I started off singing on the street throughout the whole city. And then from there, I went to performing, like doing short clips on Instagram. I believe this is before it was 1 minute. I think this is around the time when it was like 30 seconds or something like that. So I would do short clips on Instagram of like remixes, and I would call them A-mix. And I just started going crazy on Instagram like that.
Yeah, what was it, over like 20,000 views in 48 hours? Is that what it was? It went crazy for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, just learned about, and you bought a microphone too when you were on the street singing, I heard.
Yeah. I got a mic. I had a generator, and I would literally post up on every corner throughout Baltimore and perform. And that's where I started at. So everybody back home, they already know. Asia Karin, yeah, that's that girl that used to be singing on the street. They already know.
No, that's the real organic way of making it. And now when you're out there, were people giving you tips and stuff, or were they giving you money while you were singing? Because that's the key factor right there.
Yeah, well, they tried to, but I really wasn't doing it for the money. I was really doing it for love. You know what I'm saying? I love making people feel good with my voice, and that was my escape. So, it wasn't really for the money, but people definitely have tried for sure. Like, they see somebody gifted as I am, and they just show love.
Now, were there any executives out there? Because I know when you went to a show later down the line, because you won a contest in 21 Savage's DJ was there. Were there any executives that, because I've heard all about these R&B artists from the 90s and their stories of singing in the subways and stuff, and an executive will find them, or some producer that has all these connections. Was there anyone that heard you singing out there on the streets of Baltimore that was connected?
When it came to singing on the streets, no. I didn't know. I was never like found directly, me singing on the street and then the executive walked out. Nah, but I did win the Made in D.M.V showcase. I did win that, and it was, I made connections with Key. That's not 21 Savage's DJ, but that was his manager at the time.
That was his manager.
Yeah, and yeah. Cool People's Genuine, yeah. So yeah.
That's big time. Are you still connected with his manager, his old manager?
I haven't talked to her in a long time, but yeah, I know, if I reach out, I'm sure it wouldn't be, It wouldn't be a problem.
What's your situation right now? Because when I look on Apple Music, Asia Karin is what's listed for the record label purposes. You're independent right now. Are you looking for a deal, or are you currently just staying the course and just building up the independence?
Well, right now I'm just building up my independence. I'm not totally against, a situation if it comes by and it makes sense for me. But of course it has to make sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna jump on anything. I understand my worth. So right now it's just me and my manager and my family, and we just going hard, just trying to put it together.
That's big time. Now, how did you find your manager? How did you and your manager come to be?
Well, he's from my city as well. And we both live here in Atlanta. We've been knowing each other for some years now. And we kind of just it kind of like just in sync. Like, I understand that he understands certain aspects of how to get me in certain rooms, and the certain things that I needed help with in as far as getting seen, and getting shows and all of those things. So I was like, okay, it makes sense for me to rock out with you. And then, we just push it. We just try to push it as much as we can.
How was that transition to Atlanta? Because that's news to me. Because when I heard in some older interviews, I think you were still out in Baltimore. So how was that transition? Because I think this is something that's really going to help you out going out. That's like the music mecca right now.
Yeah, the transition was good. It was good. It was hard in the beginning. At first,
Yeah.
I was about to go home a couple times. I was like, man,
Homesick.
yeah, no, not even homesick. It just that it started getting. It was hard.
Okay. Yeah.
Because down south is a little different than up north. So coming from up north, and you in a whole nother city, you don't know nobody. You just dream chasing. Like it's a lot that comes with it. But it was hard. But I kept pushing. Now I'm here. Yeah, doing good for myself.
No, I'm happy to hear that. Why is it so difficult, you think, for artists to break out of Baltimore? Because I do know that Drew Hill's from there, because when Drew Hill and Cisco, they were all getting their start at the Fudgery. Have you been there? I think the Fudgery closed years ago. It was in the harbor. That's where Drew Hill was performing, and how they got spotted, actually. But how come it's so difficult for artists to come out of Baltimore, you think?
Well, I mean, we come from a tough city, so most of the time I feel like we're overlooked because of the reputation of our city. It's a lot of talented and gifted people, keep people in Baltimore. But because of the reputation over the years, I just feel like we get overlooked. But lately, it seems like it's been a lot of light shedded on the city lately.
Yeah, Reeking the Menace is an artist that's blowing up from there. You yourself, you're doing your thing. So we have a movement going here with newer artists. So hopefully this can get booming for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot more artists. A couple more singers that I know. Actually, a couple rappers, Tay Wilson. Yeah, all of these people. Yeah, Tony Terrell, everybody. Like all of us. We coming up. We coming up. It's a lot more. I appreciate all of y'all too, but it's a lot of us. Y'all gonna see us.
You will. A singer with a rapper flow. That's you right there. You've always preached that. Chris Brown's the main influence. What is it about Chris Brown you think that speaks to you out of all the other R&B artists the most?
Well, I've always liked Chris Brown because one, he has a raspy voice just like me. Like
Okay.
the little raspy, and he has that raspy sound. Of course, it's more manlier and all of that in the man voice, but he still has that same raspy in his swag. You know what I'm saying? Like he just swag. He just got swag with him. So yeah, I just like his vibe. Always did. That's one of my. That's only one of my influences. I have another one. Tory Lanez, top tier.
Tory
Yeah.
Lanez. I because I know he's so controversial right now. I know people are all the cancel culture and all that crap. But do you think that his music will still live on, and people, are we going to be able to enjoy his music at the end of the day because of everything that's going on?
Man, listen, I'm not. I don't really get wrapped up in that. I pray. I pray that I pray that his situation ends up, what it needs to be for him. But musically, he is a great artist, and I love his music for sure.
Versatile. I know the 80s album he released, Too Alone at Prom. Yeah,
Yeah.
he has the game on lock, in my opinion, as far as creativity. I know people compare, they say Chris Brown's the new Michael Jackson. I, I agree with it from the standpoint of, okay, I get he's this generational, he's the top guy in R&B, But what is it that you think that people go right to Michael Jackson for the comparison about Chris Brown?
I think it's the combination of him being an entertainer as far as dancing, you know, dancing and the singing, like the combination of it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Okay.
you got some people that can sing, you got some people that can dance, but it's not a lot of people that can be both at
You're
a
both.
really high level. So I feel like that's where, the comparison comes in at.
Yeah, because when you start throwing a name like Michael Jackson around, I start thinking of the Thriller or Off the Wall, all these iconic albums, and I'm like, well, Chris Brown's he's got some classic albums, Fame. He's got a couple right there, exclusives, right. It's so difficult, I think, because when we compare Michael Jackson, we look at him. When you think of the greatest artist of all time, it's probably him in most cases. But for you, it's Chris Brown. So
Yeah. One of most greatest.
yeah. How do you feel about the state of R&B in 2023?
I feel like it could be in a better space. There's a lot of R&B artists out here that's doing great. Jazzy, I'm actually a fan of hers. But I feel like it's a little overlooked. I don't know if it's because of the generation right now. I don't really know what it is. I don't know if it's society. I don't know what's going on, but I definitely feel like R&B is overlooked right now.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, because I always say it, because hip hop, it's so all over the place. Because I'm a big lyrical guy, especially up from the New York City area. I grew up off of G Unit and all that stuff, and I'm critical when hip hop comes out today. You got some great rappers that can rap over the trap beats and all that. It's not the same. Where R&B, it is overlooked, because I think you have great artists such as yourself. You have SZA out there. SZA's doing her thing. It's reminiscent of '90s R&B, early 2000s. So yeah, R&B definitely isn't getting brought up as much as it should be.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
Absolutely. What would you say the stage that you're in right now, that you're fighting to get to the next level? Because everyone has their battles that they're fighting. You look back on this time period now, and a couple months, maybe a couple years down the road, when you're looking at your journey and how far you come. What are you fighting right now to get towards that? Is it the exposure, the label deal? Because I know you said that you're open to it, but what would you say is your current battle?
Um, it's definitely the exposure. It's definitely
Exposure.
um just being seen by the right people and more people. Because a lot of times I feel like I'm just underrated because I'm just not being seen by the right people. Um, it's definitely that. But two, just being able to take out the part of having to actually work a job and all of that, and still have to chase a dream. Like I wanted to just be like, I just wake up every morning and chase my dream. Like I'm waking up every morning, I'm singing. You know what I'm saying? I'm making music. So that's the fight right there.
Yeah, and it relates, because I relate to a lot of that, and I have a lot of respect for people who work on the side as well as chase their dream. But it gets discouraging when you're working a job on the side, because they treat you like crap, they treat you like garbage, and you see other people who are just getting off and popping like that out of nowhere, and it's like, well, I'm more talented than them. How come I'm not getting on? So I get what you're saying. I 100% get it. But She Ain't Nice, this was an important release for your career, because you were making a lot of noise in your city,
Mm.
and you felt as though you weren't getting the respect.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. A lot of people know me in my city, but when it comes to the music aspect of it, I feel like I definitely get overlooked a lot. But I appreciate all the love that I do get from my city, because a lot of people do show love, you know. Yeah.
Have you thought about it? Because is there a bitter taste a little bit, because with that message, with that release, would you go back once you blow up eventually? Would you go back to Baltimore?
Yeah, like what do you mean? Like to reach out and help
Yeah, to
others?
reach out and help.
Oh yeah, of course, of
Yeah.
course. Like I say all the time, like Baltimore is what made me. Like that's where
Mhm.
I'm born and raised. Like, I can't get away from that no matter where I move to. Like that's where I'm from. That's in my blood, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would definitely go back and help people for sure. Once I get to that point to be able to do so.
Mhm. I think one of the goals for you too, you got to get in the celebrity all-star game for basketball. I heard you can hoop.
Yeah, I can hoop a little bit. Yeah, B triple C.
Yeah.
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
about it. 2013, 2015. That was your career. What was the highlight? Is there a certain highlight that you can remember? A certain game that you were really taking over in?
No, not really. I don't remember all of that stuff, but we had a really good team. Yeah, shout out to B.C and Coach Owens.
Yeah. No, and you also fit in this lane too in a certain way, because I know people are always like, "Oh, basketball rappers," but you played, so you can count that you're your own R&B basketball player.
Right. You know, it's crazy. A lot of people didn't even know that could sing at first when I played basketball.
Wow.
So when my teammates found out, they was like, "You need to be singing.
It,
You need to sing." And later on down the line, I started singing. So yeah, I mean, I've been singing, but I started taking it serious. So
yeah, you were singing at a young age, and then as soon as it was the end of 2016, that's when it really the gears kicked in.
yeah, that's when I really started taking it serious. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yep. But I knew I could sing around when I was like 11, something like that.
11. And when did the recording process start? Because I know everything with SoundCloud was taking off then. So when did the recording really take off? Because I know you bought your microphone, but when the real recording start, when you started to really hit the studios?
2017.
2017.
17. Yeah, that was around the time. Cause yeah, that was around the time when I released She Ain't Nice. So it was, that was my first album anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah, around that time. I recorded a couple A mixes before then, but for the most part, yeah.
Mhm. How was the response to She Ain't Nice? Did you get the respect then? Did you feel as though you got it?
I mean, I got love,
You
but
got love.
yeah, like people showed me love, but when it came to like, the people that could, I guess, invite me out to perform at the bigger showcases and shows and stuff, I just felt like I was overlooked when it came to stuff like that. But a lot of people in the city knew who I was. They know my name and stuff like that. But yeah, it is what it is. Underdogs always gonna come out on top. I ain't
Yeah.
tripping.
Yeah, that's a fact. Is there someone's story that you relate to, that what you've gone through so far? Is there someone out there in the industry that the story relates to yours?
Nah, not really. I'm me. I can't relate to nobody else's story. I just, I'm guided by flaws. That's me.
Guided by flaws.
Yeah.
No, that's unique. I never. That's definitely a key phrase right there. That's going to take you far. You think that we kind of pay for the certain things that we do down the line, like certain actions, things we say to people? Do you think they kind of hold us back, and which why we're not further than we should be? Because you say guided by flaws.
Nah. I mean, yeah, I'm saying guided by flaws because of the reasons that I just told you a little while ago when I just said, um, everything that I've been through, everything that I've surrounded myself, well, that I was surrounded by back in Baltimore, all the negative things that come with being in poverty is what guided me. So that's what
Okay.
guided by flaws. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking all the negatives and all the bad stuff and turning it into something great. That's what that means.
Okay, yeah. So that's a flip. No, I get what you're saying, but I know there's I've had conversations with people who are like, well, if you do this to a person, that action comes, like people say karma. If you do certain things, the karma will come back to bite you. I know people are cautious on how they move in the industry, because a lot of it is tests when you see if you want success or not. So if you have to handle a certain situation and you go a negative way about it, it comes back to haunt you.
Right.
No, but
Yep.
no, but that's interesting though. What do you have on the way here as far as performances? The summer taking off. You ready to hit the stages here for the summer?
Yeah, yeah, yep. My manager's actually working on getting me in some performances actually soon. We have a performance coming up soon for the Coalition DJs. So that's the next thing that we're doing.
Oh, that's fire. This is all going to be throughout Atlanta. You looking to take things outside of Atlanta, going on the road?
Oh yeah, for sure. I have a lot of supporters in like Texas, of course back home, Baltimore, Philly, Delaware, DC, a lot of people. Oh, I got some fans in California too.
Oh yeah,
So
you got to get out to Cali.
yeah, they love me. Shout out to the Bay Area. They love me. Listen, when I had released a song called Save Me, it was a remix to Meek Mill's Save Me. And when that dropped, the Bay Area was rocking with me heavy. They was rocking with me.
You got to get out there. I'm telling you, the warm weather, everything. I mean, Atlanta's warm. You got to get out to LA. That's where the stars are too.
Yeah, I know. I just was out there last month.
Oh yeah, how was it?
It was cool. It was pretty. I went out there for some writing stuff, some writing sessions and stuff like that.
Now, would you consider doing some ghostwriting for artists? I know ghostwriting, I use it loosely because that's more for hip hop. But have you thought about being a songwriter for other artists?
Yeah, I have. I've already done that actually. I'm not against it, but right now I'm just focused on pushing myself as an artist. I'd rather, take those chances on myself.
Yeah, and get those hit records because if you write that hit record for someone else, you'll regret it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that too. But
Yeah.
it's a lot in this pen. I ain't really right about that.
No, exactly. There's a lot on the way, but like you said, you came out with True Love. It was already out years ago. Re-released it, did your own thing there. What's on the way as far as a EP album? I know people are gonna be looking for that
Yeah, True Love is not really a re-release. It was like a remake, kind of.
remake.
Yeah, but I'm about to drop another single. It's called "Call on Me."
Call me.
That's "Call on Me." It's gonna be fire. Great follow-up song after True Love. It's gonna show that I'm very versatile. And yeah, I'm just right now. My strategy is to just drop singles, drop singles, drop singles, get everybody paying attention, and then once everybody's really locked in and paying attention, then we're gonna drop some projects on.
Drop some more. And it's going to go on from there. Asia Karin, is there anything else you want to let your fans know? Anything else that you have on the way that we can talk about?
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all. I love all of y'all. Keep tuning in. Keep turning up with me. We going up this year.
Absolutely. They can follow you on Instagram at Asia_Karin. And
Yes,
how about Twitter, TikTok, all the other platforms too?
for sure. Shout out to L Nice. Shout out to everybody, you know what I'm saying, that connected me with you.
Yeah.
It's all
Shout out to L Nice. Shout out to him, one of the realest in the industry. He's definitely got an eye for talent, and you're next up for sure. You heard him. I only heard that one song. That was
yeah.
it because we just got connected literally like an hour ago. I heard the one song, and he was playing it on his live too because I know he does the music reviews, and I heard it a couple weeks ago, and I said that's fire because you did your own thing and paid homage to Mary J. Blige in your own way. So
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure. Shout out to Cole Savage. He produced that and co-wrote on that. So yeah, we turning up. We going up this year.
yeah, no, I could see it. Only big things are on the way. Asia Karin, thank you for coming on the show. Anytime you have anything you need to promote, you're always welcome back on.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate you.
No doubt. Take care. Stay safe. All right.
You too.
Yeah.